Hi everyone. In this video, we'll be reviewing the Section 3 grid-in questions from Practice Test 10. It can be found for free on College Board's website. I'll include the link in the description down below. Let's get started. Question 16 gives me the equation T is equal to 5C plus 12F. The question says, a manufacturer shipped units of a certain product to 2 locations. The equation above shows the total shipping cost, T, in dollars for shipping C units to the closer location and shipping F units to the farther location. If the total shipping cost was $47,000 and 3,000 units were shipped to the farther location, how many units were shipped to the closer location? The first thing I want to do is identify my important information. So that's going to be my total cost of 47,000 and the 3,000 units that were shipped to my farther location. So I'm going to take those values and put them in my equation. So I have 47,000 is equal to 5C plus 12 times 3,000. And although these numbers might seem big and intimidating at first, I know 12 times 3 is 36. So 12 times 3,000 is going to give me 36,000. And if I fill in the rest of my equation, I have 47,000 is equal to 5C plus 36,000. I'm trying to get C alone, so I'm going to subtract my 36,000 from both sides of my equation. When I do that, I'm going to get 47,000 minus 36,000 is equal to 11,000, and that's equal to 5C. Then I have to divide both sides by 5. If I do 11,000 divided by 5, 5 goes into 11 twice, subtract, bring down my 0, I'm going to get 2,200. So 2,200 is going to be my final answer. Question 17 gives me the absolute value of 2x plus 1 is equal to 5. It says if A and B are solutions to the equation above, what is the value of the absolute value of A minus B? So when I have the absolute value of something, that means the distance from 0. So there are two equations I need to set up to find my solutions. My first one is going to be 2x plus 1 is equal to 5. And my second one is 2x plus 1 is equal to negative 5, right? Because negative 5 is still 5 units away from 0. Now I'm just going to solve both equations. So if I subtract 1, I'll get 2x is equal to 4, or x is equal to 2. And I'll say that this is my A value. Over here, I'm going to subtract 1, I get 2x is equal to negative 6, x is equal to negative 3. And I'll label this my B value. And it actually doesn't matter which number I assign the A or B value, because I'll get the same answer either way. So if I set it up, the absolute value of A minus B, so 2 minus a negative 3. 2 minus a negative 3, my negatives will cancel out, and I'll get the absolute value of 5, which is equal to 5. If you had set it up the other way and done the absolute value of negative 3 minus 2, you'll see you'll still get the same answer. Negative 3 minus 2 will give you an absolute value of negative 5. The absolute value of negative 5 is equal to 5. So 5 is going to be my answer. Question 18 says, Juan purchased an antique that had a value of $200 at the time of purchase. Each year, the value of the antique is estimated to increase 10% over its value the previous year. The estimated value of the antique in dollars 2 years after purchase can be represented by the expression 200A, where A is a constant. What is the value of A? So the expression 200A represents my antique 2 years after the initial purchase when it's increasing by 10% year over year. So the value of A is my percent increase compounded over 2 years. Instead of focusing on the $200 that the antique originally cost, I'm going to say that's 100% of the original cost of my antique. It's increasing by 10% every year. So at the start of year 1, I'm at 100%, and I'm adding 10%, right? 10% of 100 is just 10. 100 plus 10 is 110. So at the end of year 1, my antique is worth 110% of what it was originally worth. For year 2, I'm going to do the same thing, only now I'm starting with 110. And if you need to find 10% of any number, you just need to move the decimal over one place. So 10% of 110 is 11. If I add that up, I'll get 121%. So at the end of 2 years, my antique is 121% what it was originally worth. For my expression, I want it in decimal form, so I would have 200 times 1.21. So my value of A is 1.21. The other method using the value of the antique would be take that $200, so that's the price at the start of year 1, and if we're adding 10%, right, again, we're moving the decimal over, we're adding $20. So at the end of year 1, my antique is worth $220. So at the start of year 2, I'm going to have $220, right? And then 10% of 220 would be 22. So if I add that, the total value of Juan's antique at the end of 2 years would be $242. Using the expression, you would get 200A is equal to 242. You would have to divide both sides by 200, and you would get an A value of 1.21. Since this is the non-calculator section, this isn't as easy to do without a calculator, so I'd recommend doing it the first way, but you still get the same answer. Question 19 gives me two equations. I have 2x plus 3y is equal to 1200, and I have 3x plus 2y is equal to 1300. The question asks, based on the system of equations above, what's the value of 5x plus 5y? Typically, when I'm solving for a variable, the question asks for either x or for y. It's very uncommon to get asked for 5x plus 5y. So if you're ever asked for something uncommon, it's a hint that you can probably get your answer without having to solve for each variable individually. You can just get there based on the information the question gives you. So if I combine both of my equations together, I get 2x plus 3x is 5x, plus 3y plus 2y is 5y, is equal to 1200 plus 1300 is 2500. As you can see, the 5x plus 5y in my equation matches the expression I'm being asked to find the value of. So my answer is going to be 2500. Question 20 says, if u plus t is equal to 5 and u minus t is equal to 2, what's the value of u minus t times u squared minus t squared? Just like in question 19, the expression it's asking me for is pretty uncommon. And it gives me u plus t and u minus t for a very specific reason. The trick to this question is recognizing u squared minus t squared is the difference of two squares. So if I had u plus t times u minus t, I could either FOIL or use box method, whatever you're more familiar with. I would have u times u, which is u squared, then u times negative t, so negative ut, then t times u, which would be positive ut, and then t times negative t, which would give me a negative t squared. My positive ut and my negative ut cancel each other out, and I'm left with u squared minus t squared. The question says, what is the value of u minus t, which has a value of 2, times u squared minus t squared, which I know I get by multiplying u plus t, which has a value of 5, and u minus t, which has a value of 2. 5 times 2 is 10, and 10 times 2 is equal to 20. So 20 is going to be my answer. Here's the answer key for the questions we just reviewed. Thanks for watching, and check out my other videos for more SAT math help.